Let's take a picture of this hat right here. So with my efforts to take the perfect hat picture, I've come across a couple tips and tricks that I'm gonna teach you guys today on how to take better hat pictures. Because when I started taking pictures of hats and selling them online, I was making a bunch of mistakes that I didn't even know I was making. Once I improved my skills, I started getting more likes on social media as well as sales on Etsy. So I'm gonna tell you guys a bunch of tips and tricks that I have for taking pictures of hats, and some of them can even be applied for other products that small like hats. And tip number 3 is a game changer. So let's start off with number 1. No matter what kind of camera you're using, if you're using a professional camera or you're using like a phone or something, they both have something called an f-stop. So you see that little F right there in this corner? That shows your f-stop once you click on it. And on the camera, that little F is right here. So if you want a blur background, what you want to do is take your f-stop all the way to as low as it can go. For this camera, it goes down to 2.8. And for this phone, it goes even lower to a 1.4. What that does is it blurs the background and makes the product stand out even more. Another part of tip number 1 that I found is the further you move the product away from the background, the blurrier the background looks and the more the product stands out. So with a background like this, you can't really tell the difference. So let me show you with a different background. This wouldn't be as good because the background is so close to the product. So what you would want to do is move it back. And it might seem subtle to you, but because the background is blurred, the hat stands out even more. All right, for my next example, I'm gonna show you guys with my flash. This is a flash, but it has like a modeling light. So I'm gonna use a modeling light to show you guys this example. So when you're taking a picture and you want like a soft light, what you want is for the light to wrap around. So what you need is a bounce on the other side. I do have this big old bounce right here in my studio, but I'm not gonna use that today. For this example, I'm gonna show you guys with a piece of lined paper. So pay close attention to the shadow areas when I move this paper towards the hat. As you can see moving the paper towards it reduces the shadow areas. And what that does is because it's making the light softer, it's reducing some of the wrinkles and some of the dips that's in the hat. Speaking of the dips and dimples in a hat, hats don't really have shape to them, and this is the tip that I was telling you guys is a game changer for me. To solve the problem of the hat not having shape, I ordered some of these hat helmets and they fill out the hat perfectly. I'll be leaving the link to this one specifically in my description below. So this is how it works. You turn the hat inside out and you pull the sweat guard. And once you have the sweat guard pulled, what you want to do is put this piece inside and fold back the sweat guard on top of it. And once you have it all inside, it gives the hat shape. So now that we know where our light source is and we put the bounce on the other side and we have that inside, as you can see, this hat picture is coming along perfect. This actually reduces my editing time because I don't have the little dimples that I have to fix in Photoshop. As well as, in my opinion, this actually looks better than putting the hat on the head. But speaking of reducing my time on Photoshop, the problem that I had a lot with Photoshop is it's hard to get rid of lint in Photoshop. So the best solution is a lint roller. As you can see, there's plenty of little lints on this hat, and if I don't correct them now, then it'll be a nightmare for me in Photoshop. So I reduced my time in Photoshop by this much. As you can see, there was a lot of little lint and cotton that was on the hat that I would have had to Photoshop. And this was the end result. I more so wanted to show you the prep work that I do before I take the pictures, so I didn't care for showing you guys me taking the pictures. I could show you guys in a different tutorial.